Hello everyone, Exceed Prince here. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I want to share some interesting facts about my game, Constrained Love, which I officially released on January 31st, 2025. Don't worry, this will be a spoiler-free discussion, so even if you haven't played it yet, you're safe. Who knows? Maybe this video will convince you to give it a try. Let's get started.
But there's something here, something you two might not see yet. That's what I want to tell, so you can understand where this story of mine is coming from.
I won't say too much about myself, just that I'm a passionate web developer who loves taking on new creative challenges. I've always been drawn to art and creation, but this is my first attempt at developing a complete game on my own. Whether I'll make more games in the future depends on the feedback I receive, but I already have a few other stories in mind that would fit well into the visual novel genre. Now, I won't dive too deep into the technical details since not everyone is a programmer, but I'll try to explain things as clearly as possible. As a web developer, not a game developer, I wasn't very familiar with how most modern games are built. I knew that visual novels are often developed using specialized software, many of which are based on Python. The problem? I only have basic Python knowledge, so that wasn't an option for me. I also didn't want to rely on existing visual novel engines because they lacked the specific features I needed, especially for the chat-based mechanics in my game. So, the only solution was to build everything from scratch using the web development stack, primarily HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. In simple terms, HTML provides the structure of the game's UI. CSS handles the design and styling. JavaScript manages all the game logic and interactions. Even though these technologies are meant for web development, they can be used to create a fully functional game. If you're a programmer, you might be wondering, why not use React? Well, I actually tried that before, but I ran into too many issues. So I decided to stick to the basics instead. But here's the challenge. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript alone can't create an offline, standalone game. That's where Electron comes in. Electron takes a web-based application and wraps it inside a browser-like environment, allowing it to run as a desktop app, even offline. To put it simply, it's like playing a browser game, but without the internet. The development of Constrained Love took a full year, and surprisingly its story is based on personal experiences. Some events in the game actually happened, though most of them have been fictionalized or altered for dramatic effect. Friends who know my personal story have told me that it sounds like something straight out of a novel, and that feedback was what inspired the entire game. At this point, I could have chosen to write a book instead, especially since I've dabbled in fantasy novel writing as a hobby before. But I realized something. There were too many pivotal choices in the story, and a reader might disagree with the protagonist's decisions. We've all encountered people who, in hindsight, love to say, "You should have done this instead." But making the right choice in the moment is never that easy. That's when I decided, why not let players experience this story interactively? Now, everyone can play out their own version, make their own choices, and see where they end up. Like most visual novels, Constrained Love features multiple choices and several endings. Not every decision matters, and some choices may have unexpected consequences. But if you're aiming for Reina's route or the secret ending, be prepared for some tough requirements. One thing though, once you make a decision, you can't go back. You can rewind to reread past dialogue if something was unclear, but you can't undo a choice. And there's a simple reason for that. In real life, we can't turn back time either. If I could, I'd change a few of my own decisions too. But that's not how life works, and since I wanted the story to feel as realistic as possible, players won't have that luxury either, unless they load a previous save. While the game doesn't contain explicit adult content, the difficulty of unlocking certain good endings makes them all the more rewarding. and they definitely come with a prize. In this case, prototype means test version. You could call it an alpha or beta, whatever fits. Since I worked on this alone and was also the main tester, there's always a chance I might have missed a few bugs. Most of the media content was generated using AI to speed up development. The story itself, while inspired by real events, has been heavily condensed to make it playable sooner. If I had started with the full story and manually created all the visuals, it would have taken years to finish. And I didn't want to invest years into something without knowing whether players would actually enjoy it. That's why this prototype version exists, to test the mechanics, gather player feedback, and improve the final release based on your suggestions. If you encounter any bugs or have ideas for improvement, I'd love to hear them. So, this is where you come in. If you're interested in a personal story-driven, slightly ecchi adult romantic drama, I promise, you won't be bored playing this game. I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can reach me through the contact info listed in the game's About, or check the video description for the same details. You can also drop your feedback right here in the comments. I'm open to negative criticism too. Just try to keep it constructive. And if you enjoy the game, feel free to share it with friends, teammates, anime fans, or fellow visual novel lovers, so I can gather as much feedback as possible to decide the future of this passion project. You'll find the download link in the description as well. Keep an eye on the patch notes file for any updates. If a new version is released, all you need to do is delete the old one and download the new build. Electron should remember your settings and save files, but if it doesn't, let me know. Enjoy the game, and best of luck unlocking good endings.